Billy Bob Thornton and the Boxmasters, Knuckleheads, shooting their documentary this Saturday night. You want to go? You're on the air. Good morning.
Johnny, dare you, beautiful bastard.
Oh, you magnificent son of a bitch. Want to go?
I'm so excited. You know how much I love Knucklehead, and I've been wanting to see the Boxmasters. I'm so excited.
Listen, it'll be a great show. And remember, they're shooting the documentary, so grab a girlfriend, grab a guy, and come down and be part of the party.
Oh, my gosh, that's absolutely awesome. I am so thrilled. I can't believe this. This is so awesome.
Look, Boxmasters this Saturday night. You hold on, stay right there. Knuckleheads, if there are tickets available, guys, you want to buy them right away. Do not wait till the night of. Boxmasters traditionally sell out. If you've not been to Knuckleheads, shame on you. It's a Kansas City treasure. And don't tell all your friends. I'll be honest. Like, I want it to be really popular, and I want it to do well with the kind of people that enjoy Knuckleheads, but I don't want to see a bunch of goobers there. Like, and I say that with love in my heart, Frank. I know he wants to sell it out every time, but man, it's so good. Like, I was so happy it never turned into the hipster joint. I was a little worried at one point.
Because the area it's in would lean to have the chance.
No, it's real beer. It's yard beers. It's outside. It's by a railroad track under an overpass next to a giant factory in a terrible neighborhood. And if you don't know where it's at, you're never going to find it.
No.
And it is Billy's favorite place to play. It's every legitimate blues artist, country artist, all the underground and outlaw know that this is the place to play. They're going to be treated well, and they really are. And this is not a commercial for Knuckleheads per se, but every band I know, every musician I know that has played there has such an affection for it because the way they're treated, the way it's set up, it's a real music venue run by real music people.
This is so random, but playing Billy's music this week reminded me that I'm kicking myself for not going to see the Mavericks when they've played Knuckleheads because they're so damn good. And I've had their music in my head now.
In that same vein, the Mavericks, I got to see a couple times. Now they're not touring anymore. Jason and the Scourgers. Bands like Southern Culture and the Skids.
Yep.
Some incredible shows there. Incredible shows over the years. And, Blackberry Smoke there was legendary.
I can't even imagine.
And it is one of those places that, Billy recognizes it. You want to have cameras. It's the way it's set up. It's so legitimate and was born out of such truth. It's not a Disney creation. It isn't I always wanted to build a bar that looked like this. It's a building that happened to turn into a bar after 5 different incarnations. It was for the railroad. It was a roadhouse. It was a motorcycle shop. And then it became, across the street, the garage was a garage. Mm-hmm. And this original place was a shop. And it was a part of the railroad. Then it became Knuckleheads. And stages were built inside and out. You utilized the building that was given to you and that you bought. There was even a tenant in there, an older lady, and I don't have the history perfect, but up until just a few years ago, she lived up there. And those guys took care of her. And, she was permitted to live in there, even though they owned the building. Mm-hmm. The entire time, they kept an eye on her. It was just a very happy, symbiotic relationship. When the garage across the way went out of business, it got bought and turned into Knucklehead's Garage. And now there's a third stage. Mm-hmm. So it is one of those places that is truly original, unlike any other. If you've not seen it, Google it and see if there's a band you like playing there. Trust me, a cold beer on a Blues Jam Sunday is all good. What genre does Boxmasters fall under? Jesus Christ. You know what? Yes. Americana. I don't know. Yeah. It's a little punk rock and a little country western. A little Americana.
Kind of rockabilly.
Yeah, no, psychobilly, rockabilly, punk rock, country.
I hate to interrupt, but there's a dude on line 18 who said he's been bit by a camel.
well, there was just
and also, there's more. Hold on, there's more. He listens on the app. He's down in Georgia, and he said his phone is busted ass. I could hear him okay, but we'll see what it sounds like.
So this is, but in reference to the TMZ story.
Who was the
chick that said she got bit by a camel?
She's the 1,000-Pound Sisters TLC show star. So it's a show that airs on TLC featuring the 1,000-Pound Sisters.
Well, of course she was on a drive-through safari.
You have a collage of her work.
Finally, something ate her.
Yeah. Nature. All right. Hey, so, hold on. What's his name? Dale. What's up? It's Johnny.
Hey, Johnny. Name's Dale. Yeah, I got bit by a camel. It was like 6 years ago. I'm down here in Georgia, and my daughter to get her picture taken with Santa, and they had a little petting zoo there. My daughter wanted a picture with the camel. I'm standing there holding her, and this thing just reaches over and gnaws on my head.
Because the lady said that camels generally don't bite. I guess they're surly creatures. By the way, I feel like we're mixing metaphors here. It's Christmas Santa pictures, but then they got the Jesus camels. Like, what's going on where you were? What kind of crazy thing were you at?
I don't know. We had just moved here, and it was kind of a last minute thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we wanted to get her picture taken with Santa, and that was just the only available spot we found.
Sure. But was Jesus, it's a side note, but was Jesus with the camels? Or I'm sorry, was Santa with the camels?
No. It was waiting outside trying to get into the building.
Oh, my God.
So how did the camel get a hold of your head, by the way? And you're saying the camel bit you your entire head?
Yeah, like his head was sideways compared to mine. And, I mean, bottom teeth on the right side, top teeth on the left side.
Oh, so he went ear to ear sideways. Yeah. And Jesus Christ, did he get your whole head in his mouth? What, from behind or from the front?
From behind.
So he snuck up on you, dirty camel.
Yeah, and I mean, he bit that, and then his lips, he was just like sucking on my head. It felt weird. That was the last thing I expected to have happen.
Yeah, no. Did you realize it was the camel at first? I mean, there has to be a moment of like, what's going on? I mean, could you feel his tongue on your neck?
Oh, yeah. It was on the top of my head. And my wife was taking the picture, and she just started laughing. I think she might have got a picture of him with my head in his mouth.
Yeah, no, you would want that. And did it hurt, by the way? Did he squeeze down, or was he just screwing around?
No, he didn't, like, bite. It was enough to leave, like, tooth impressions on my head for a couple hours.
He was just holding on to you while I gave you a little.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so how long did it go on? And how, by the way, did he just let go? Did you struggle out? Did someone come to save you?
No, I kind of ducked down once I realized what was going on, and it was maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds that my whole head was in his mouth.
Oh, my God. That had to feel like an hour.
We were standing in line, and we couldn't move, so he keeps trying to nip at my shirt the whole time.
So after this happens, and you got camel spit all over your head, you still got the kid, and you're still waiting on Santa.
Yes. We were standing there another half hour.
And did you see him get anybody else, or was it just you that he enjoyed?
No, it was just me that I noticed. I don't know. I guess I was just too close to the fence or something.
And did you offer up your child as a sacrifice just to get away from him?
No. No, she was still cute and little at the time.
Oh, see? I'm saying, toss that one right out there. You're like, take this and spare me. Spare me, camel god. You and so she got to see Santa. Everything was fine. You have no lasting problems. No, you didn't lose an ear. No problems there.
No,
right.
No, just a funny story.
And you didn't feel like you wanted to sue the company suddenly. You just because you're a normal human being. You just thought, oh, that was weird. It didn't really hurt me.
Yeah. It was just something funny. I didn't think anything else of it.
Yeah, of course.
Last thing I expected in Georgia.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Anytime you show up to see Santa in Georgia and the camels are on the side, it's going to get weird. And did Jake tell me that you were living on the Georgia-Florida line?
Yeah, I'm currently in Florida at work right now.
Listen, dude, you know as well as I do. There's a bunch of people over there that goddamn aren't even human. Like, I don't know what in the hell's in the water over there. You're a good cat, and you're a very good, nice person, obviously. But, dude, there's something about that part of the country that is absolutely terrifying to me. Like, I met some people over there. I was like, Jesus Christ, what's going on with you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the first day we walked through town, there's this old lady with bright purple hair walking down the road yelling at everybody.
Yeah. No.
I was born in Alaska, grew up in Missouri, and now I'm down here in Georgia, and it's a completely different world.
Well, where at in Alaska were you born?
I had actually texted you a while back about this. I was the guy that texted and said I was wrapped in saran wrap when I was born.
You hold on. What? Saran wrap? What are you talking about? Yeah,
this was back during the screenwriters strikes. I had texted in about a story. Yeah, I was born in a little village up in Alaska. It's called McGrath. There's no birthing hospitals, anything like that. And I was born premature. My doctor sent my grandpa down the road to her house to get the saran wrap off the fridge, and they wrapped me in saran wrap to keep me warm.
I just did a Google for McGrath, Alaska. The population was 301 in 2020, and it's known as a village on the Kuskokwim?
Yes.
Kuskokwim River in Alaska. It is an important transportation and economic hub, despite its small population, it says, for the area. By the way, they've dropped in 22 to 289, so they've lost 3 people since then. You grew up in that, and why the hell? What's wrong with your parents? Why were you there?
My grandpa was in the Air Force, and we were up there because he was in the military.
Good. I'm looking at it. I mean, it looks very beautiful, but it is in the middle of nowhere, Alaska, completely small, and it gets brutal weather. Like, I'm looking at it going, Jesus Christ, that's a hard way to live.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even back in 89, 90, milk was like $5 a gallon up there.
Sure. I bet houses are cheap and groceries are expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, so then you moved to, I'm looking at you can buy, holy cow, man, 40 acres on a lake of riverbank, of lake bank for $49,000.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The land prices up there are really nice.
Yeah, they sure are. That's amazing.
My wife's from Arizona. She said, no way we're going to Alaska.
Good for her. You guys compromised, and there you are in Floribama. Like you're Georgia, Florida line. That's a whole world, man. Well, good luck on you. I'm glad you still listen, man. So how long ago did you live in, by the way, in Missouri?
We left Missouri in 2017.
All right. Well, man, I'm glad you found I'm glad you found the app and you stayed with us, brother.
Oh, yeah. I grew up there in Harrisonville from the age of 5 until 2017. I've been listening to you since like 94.
Don't blame me for all this.
I don't know. I moved down here. I'm like, man, I've got to figure out a way to listen to Johnny Dare's stuff.
I love you, brother. Hey, listen, man. We'll mail you some. At least we'll mail you some F Giant Air shirts, man. I know that tickets aren't going to do you any good since you're all the way down there, but we'll mail you a box of stuff if you want.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
All right, I'm gonna put you on with Jake. All right, Dale.
All right, thanks, Johnny.
Love you, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, that's Dale on line. Was it the first line? Yes.
I was just going to say that was Dale on the show who didn't sue for trauma after being bit by a camel.
No, because he's a regular human being.
Yep. Celebrating birthdays, guitarist Dweezil Zappa is 55, actress Rose McGowan's 51, and Michael Keaton is 73.
With a successful movie career already in his back pocket, actor Michael Keaton probably doesn't need the money. But this much you can't dismiss. And that's the fact that with a projected $145 million opening weekend for the new Beetlejuice movie, he's going to go from...
What do you think of this?
To this.
What do you think of this? You like it?
Happy birthday to actor Michael Keaton.
In news this morning, the Russian government is being held responsible for attempting to influence the U.S. public opinion ahead of the presidential election in November. Attorney General Merrick Garland announced charges against 2 employees of the Russia-backed media network RT, accusing them of conspiring to commit money laundering and violating the Foreign Agents Registration Act. The AG says it's clear that the Russian efforts were meant to bolster opinions for Donald Trump and harm opinions of the Democratic Party. The accusations include details about a $10 million scheme where the Russians hired a Tennessee-based company to publish and pass out pro-Russian content. The scheme includes work done by a social media influencer to share content on their platforms that showed Russia in a favorable light. The investigation into the plot is ongoing. An analysis of 28 years of research states that the health effects from radio wave exposure via mobile phones are not linked to brain cancer. The review was commissioned by the World Health Organization, offers the strongest evidence to date that radio waves from wireless technologies are not a hazard to human health. An ultra swimmer's attempt to cross Lake Michigan appears to be over. Jim Dwyer was back on shore yesterday. Dwyer, by the way, who's nicknamed the Shark, began swimming Monday night in Grand Haven, Michigan. His goal was to get to Milwaukee in Wisconsin, more than 80 miles away. 61-year-old has now tried 4 times since 2023 to cross Lake Michigan. He did it more than 20 years ago, back in 1998. Kansas man pled guilty to mistreating a 90-year-old nursing home resident, was sentenced to a year of probation. 31-year-old Jose Reyes Jr. of Wichita was a certified nurse aide at Catholic Care Center when a resident passed away back in 2022. An autopsy found that the primary cause of the woman's death was heart disease. The autopsy also noted that the woman had suffered other injuries at the time of her death, including broken bones in her legs, bruising under her armpits, and a bruise to her head. The second person charged in Sean Brady's death will stay in the juvenile detention center at least until the end of September. The 16th Judicial Circuit Court of Jackson County judge made her decision at the first court appearance since his arrest. The 10th grader appeared in court with representation and his father at the Family Justice Center. The representation asked that he be monitored at Hilltop Residential Center in Lee Summit, but that request was denied. Juveniles charged with second-degree murder and attempted stealing. Family court argued to the judge that the defendant has accrued several past run-ins with the law, citing trespassing, resisting arrest, being caught with a controlled substance, and another 11 incident reports on file from Hilltop. The juvenile's attorney argued he was the passenger in the car that night, but not the shooter. The attorney went on to argue that despite the client's checkered past, this past year has been a good one. Defendant's attorney claimed he is now involved in an after-school program, church, and family, including raising a child of his own. The next court date is set for September 25th. Lawrence, Kansas Police Department, along with several other police agencies across the U.S., are teaming up with Shaquille O'Neal to ensure gun owners practice security and safety at home. According to the CDC, firearm injuries are the leading cause of death among children and teenagers. Shaquille had said, "You may have a right to carry, but you have a duty to secure your firearms."
No, we live in a world where people spout off all about their Second Amendment rights, and they're the hypocrites that drive me crazy, because I'm like, you practice no firearm safety, you have no knowledge, you have no understanding of the weapon that you're holding, you don't respect it. You want people to fear you because you're holding a gun. Mm-hmm. And that's not everybody. It certainly wasn't the way I was raised and the way my father handled guns. But I grew up with real fear and healthy respect of handguns.
Yeah.
And I shot since I was a little boy. And I like shooting, and that's where it ends for me. But above all, you couldn't get my dad's respect because you were a great shot. He would admire it. But you gathered his respect in that world by handling your firearm correctly, by showing absolute safety. And my old man was not a pussy. You know what I mean? But there's only one way to handle a firearm. Like, there's one correct way to store it. There's one correct way to pull it out. There's one way to hold it when you're in your hand. There's one correct way to walk with it. There's one correct way. That's it. Mm-hmm. There's no discussion about that. But we, for some reason, so there's a lot of people out there that were not taught correctly.
No.
And they get real brave real fast with a gun.
Well, and just for the fact that you can go to a store and just buy it.
Yeah, yes, you are constitutionally protected, but man, what happened to self-respect?
Your dad was a lot like my dad. Was he weird when you were a kid about having toy guns, about how my dad was very weird about cap guns and stuff?
You know, my dad actually wasn't, because he wasn't, again, my parents were weird, they probably should have been, but no, we've definitely pointed cap guns at each other.
Yeah, see, my dad...
I'd love to tell you we didn't, but... No. But then when it became time they became real, my dad expected us to understand the difference between playing cowboys and Indians and screwing around and even a BB gun.
Well, see, I always thought growing up that was the weird thing. And obviously behind his back, of course, we were pointing BB guns and everything at each other. My dad caught me.
I shot a kid with a BB gun. I got caught. And he snapped it, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, but even as a little kid, like having a Star Wars gun or something, he's like, hey, point that at somebody.
Your dad was right. My parents didn't get that deep into it. But my dad didn't view us as gun things until then. Like, it's hard to explain. My dad, he would take you to the range, and you might get to hold something. Then if you did that correctly, if my dad was out with friends and they were trap shooting, he might let me carry a gun without a bolt in it.
But he'd baby step you.
Then I could carry it across the field if we were going out to where they were going to shoot trap. And then eventually there'd be a bolt, so then it would be an active gun, but there would be no ammunition. Then if you did that okay, maybe the next time, after you watched how everybody did themselves, you get to carry it maybe with actual magazine or a round. But the second you screwed up, you went back to 0 again.
Yeah.
And I mean, there was just no discussion about that. My dad was never, he was encouraging about your ability to shoot, but your ability to handle that gun correctly and in a safe fashion is where you got your respect from him.
Yeah.
Again,
well, that's why
some people push your kid, be a better shot, try harder. My dad, be better if you can. But most importantly, it was just drilled into his head and he drilled it into mine.
That's why I never shot with my dad a lot, because he took it really responsible and the whole thing, like cleaning the gun, taking it apart, all of that. And I was an a-hole kid. I'm like, I don't want to do all that. I just want to shoot a bullet, you know.
For whatever reason, I took to it super fast. I loved taking guns apart with my dad. Loved it.
I wish I'd have been cool about it. I was an a-hole. I was like, well, I don't want to do all that. And he's like, well, then we're not shooting.
Yeah, no, that was what you did.
Yeah.
In music news, this past Sunday, Slipknot Sid Wilson played his first show this week since suffering severe burns in a bonfire explosion. Speaking about the performance at Rocklahoma, Wilson told TMZ, I've been physically bedridden up until then, so I hadn't been practicing or anything. The skin's tighter now, so I have to keep exercising my hand to make sure that the skin doesn't heal tight as to heal normal. So when I was practicing backstage, I practiced for like anywhere between 3 to 5 hours straight before I play. I got about 2 hours in because of the logistics of getting to the show, and I could immediately feel how much tighter the skin was around my hand. Left hand's not quite as bad as the right, and the right arm and hand's pretty bad. New skin has grown from underneath everything, and it's all flaking off now. We've cut most of the skin off. Wilson has sustained the burns from a bonfire on his farm in Iowa. Haktua girl Haley Welch has landed a podcast deal with Jake Paul. She signed with Jake's sports betting company Better. She'll host a new weekly podcast called Talk Tua, where she'll share her Southern charm, comedic flair, and personal experiences that will premiere next week.
We'll see if she's any good. She's definitely a lovable character. You know the whole...
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to and spit on that thing. You get me?
But yeah, everybody kind of fell in love. Not so much the super dirty part. That's cool. But she laughs. She seems like a good time.
Pretty easy going.
Maybe she'll be good at it. But you know what? Lord knows you got to have the personality. They can show you how to do the rest of it.
And finally, a New York man was busted for having a big old snake as a pet. Snake was identified as a Burmese python, which requires a permit for ownership. It's found to be in good health, measuring 13 feet in length and weighing 80 pounds. Still growing snake was confined to a 4 to 5 foot tank. It was confiscated, though, and donated to Fort Ricky Discovery Zoo, as the zoo possesses the necessary permits for such animal. Snake's owner received citations for keeping wildlife as a pet and for harboring dangerous wildlife without a permit.
Hold on. Jake says we want to talk to Richard. Richard?
Yeah.
What up?
Hey, I got a funny story for you. When I took my concealed carry class back when you had to have the card to carry, which I don't carry anymore, it's a pain in the ass. The guy next to me, when we were doing the shooting part of it, his gun jammed. He turned around, pointed it right at me, and he said, "Mine won't fire. It's jammed."
Yep. Dude, all day long. All day long I've seen that, man.
The worst part about it, he was my roommate.
Oh. Yeah, no, listen, we've all had those friends who are like, I think I'm going to get a gun. You're like, that's a terrible idea. You know,
he left it in the he would drive with it in his lap, and he'd get out and go in his store, and it would lay in his, and he'd forget about it and leave it laying right in the seat.
And you ask, you go, and why was it in your lap, sir? Because you think you're going to be challenged in a way that forces you to take human life at this moment. Like, first of all, it's just, there's just some people, but there's nothing you can tell somebody, man. Once there are two kinds of people in this world. The kind of person that buys a motorcycle and someone goes, "Hey, do you know how to ride it?" He goes, "No, I wish you'd show me." And the other kind of person who doesn't know how to ride it, and you go, "Hey, do you know how to ride it?" He goes, "Of course I do." And he drives off down the road, killing the thing, and runs into something. Some people think there's shame in asking for help, and you either learn to do it, and that's where your dad comes in. There's got to be somebody there, man.
No, it was my grandpa.
Right. And do you still think back to those times and how much you miss it?
Oh, yeah, especially since my grandpa passed away in 2017. I miss it all the time.
Yeah, dude, me too with my dad. Those are the best times.